What is up, guys? Mcdoubles back again with a brand new video, and today I want to try Glacial Light, brand new epic enchant with a very interesting way of acquiring it on Project Ascension Season 8. I want to do basically a Holy and Frost build, renewed and made better in our own way. We might even try some PvP in this. I think that might be the initial focus, but of course, we're going to try to get into those M0s, the M+, the M+ progression, and see how we can make this build work. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's jump right in. Alright guys, I was doing some thinking, and I was just thinking about, like, wanting to do something different on Ascension right now. I've been talking to Dutch and other people that work for the game, and they basically, I can't say anything for sure. I don't really know anything too for sure, just so you guys know. But we are going to see some changes relatively soon, and when I say soon, I'm not talking 1 month plus from now, so, you know, strap in, because things should be getting better. But I thought in the meantime, like, what is something interesting that I could do? That's also fun, by the way, of course. Well, I did some farming. I'll show you. I got the Glacial Light epic enchant. Worldforged, of course, just came out. And how this works is that you have to go during 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. server time to Winter Spring. You go under the giant Simba rock, you know, from Lion King, but in the snow. And then you just wait there. Now, as soon as 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. comes, it gets all bright. You get the random enchant just straight up rewarded to you. And then you end up with Glacial Light. Now, I do think this was already nerfed, I'm sad to say. And I'm sad to say it because it always sucks when somebody just gets to something first and then it gets nerfed. Now, obviously, I'm one to talk, but still, Glacial Light is frost and holy damage, okay? That's an interesting little combo. It transforms Holy Fire into Glacial Light, doing the damage I just said, and allowing it to now benefit from the Shatter talent and Fingers of Frost. I'll just say right now, Shatter means more crit, Fingers of Frost means more crit. Just straight up, right? Okay, Glacial Light also gives you some synergy with Icy Veins. I don't think we're going to be able to use that because, as with everything, I don't have an Icy Veins card because the new card shop is really bad and random. But Glacial Light itself has some interesting aspects to it. For example, it says while burning, periodic heals and absorbs on the target are reduced by 30%. Think of it like a freezer burn almost, right? But it has an MS effect on it. It's really interesting. So I thought, how can I make this work? And it brings me back to an oldie but a goodie. I got a tip off from a guy who was making a snowblind melee build like 7 months ago. Nobody was playing anything like it. I didn't have his build, but I had the idea in my head. I went for it myself. I made snowblind melee. It was one of the most fun builds I ever played, and we were able to raid with that build and actually raid at higher levels and actually do amazing DPS, and I could not believe it. It was a melee snowblind build. I initially rated this enchant before it got some changes, right? By the way, don't forget, as one of the literal worst enchants to come out during the Mal'Ganis era. I don't think I was that wrong, but I definitely wasn't right. And with time and with changes to the random enchant, Snowblind actually became incredible. It's even better now, and of course, Glacial Light must be made to go with it. So if you don't remember what Snowblind does, it transforms Blizzard into Ice Prism, and any instant spell that goes onto that Ice Prism will now make the Ice Prism blow up, doing frost damage to everybody nearby, up to 5 targets actually. Now, here's the interesting thing. You get 6% more chance to crit with holy spells, that counts for Glacial Light, and all the damage that comes from the Ice Prism automatically always critically hits. It scales with Cone of Cold as well, by the way, so some synergy there, and it's capable of triggering Surge of Light. Now, Surge of Light says when you crit, you have a 50% chance to get off a free smite that can't crit. However, if you go to the epic enchants, we have the Swift Justice enchant, which says if Surge of Light triggers from a non-holy spell, like Glacial Light being part frost, or maybe a Frostbolt instant from a Maelstrom, it no longer prevents critically hitting with smite, so we can actually go hard with massive frost and holy synergistic crits. What it all comes back though to is I kind of want to do a build that's not just good in PvE, but I also want to try doing some PvP. But as you noticed with my skill cards, I'm prioritizing like a stun, for example, a silence with a daze effect. I do want to be able to get people in a state in which they hate their lives. I mean, that's the point of PvP. Some other things I really hope to get would be like Divine Shield, maybe the Blink, maybe the Psychic Horror Death Coil. Let's just start leveling though. I have to finish off getting my abilities. I need, I think, just the Judgment of Light. My other abilities I've already guaranteed is Seal of Righteousness, which scales off SP, and we have the Charge, and I have the Frostbolt as well. So we just need that Judgment of Light, and I'll see you guys at level 10.
1 hour later.
Sometimes I feel like being a donkey is just my forte. We're actually going to go at level 15 here. I'm going to go Arcane Intellect off this draft. That's pretty good. I saved all my drafts, so we have Holy Light, Power Word Forge, good for PvP. I'll take the Stam. We've got Holy Light again, Judgment of Wisdom, Fire Blast. I guess I could take the Judgment of Wisdom. I don't know which one I want. I probably want Judgment of Light, but with a new Judgment Master Mastery, which I took. It's not actually hurting me, but Holy Light's good too. I'm gonna go with that actually, yeah. Having a heal, pretty good. We have 2 buffs. That's pretty good. Guess what your boy forgot, man? Blizzard. You need Blizzard to transform it into Icy Prism, and I can't change my cards now. Now, it's just a rare, and I think I have, yeah, not that many marks, but maybe we'll get lucky, or I'm going to have to prestige again, you know? That's just how it is sometimes. So we're level 15. Let's just start queuing for BGs and stuff. Just level up as fast as we can and get to max. We obviously can't do much with the build at level 15, but I will have Holy Fire and stuff coming to me eventually. We'll be able to try Glacial Light and see how it goes. Okay, so I basically queued into this in auto 1. Didn't even really have to do anything. So Weapon Enhancement Mastery already taken with the Flametongue weapon, so I didn't have to go hard with the skill cards the way I did, the lucky ones, but we got it, and that's what I wanted, so I'll take it. Cure Disease, Pain, Dampen Magic, Garbage. I'll take Pain, I guess. Okay, let's keep leveling. Yo, what the hell is this? Temple of Kotmogu and Ascension. I haven't played it yet because max level PvP is, well, I've already gone over. I don't have to keep harping on it. I have to give my, you know, monthly, actually, it's more like every 3 months. I tell you guys PvP is still bad, hoping something changes, man. What I didn't expect was Temple of Kotmogu at level, like, 18. I'm gonna turn that music down just in case, though. So I told these guys, I gave them a little pep speech before it started. I said, you have to pick up the balls at all times. That's how you win this. You have no idea how many times I've said in BG chat, like, bros, just go for the balls. Get some balls. All you have to do is get some balls and go to the middle. And that's all you have to do. Keep running the balls to the middle. At every time, at every moment of your life, run the balls to the middle. If you run the balls to the middle, you will win. That's how the game works, bro. See another guy on the enemy team with balls? They're not supposed to have them, bro. Knock them out instantaneously. See, everybody, like, all of us with balls know how to play. All right, that guy has no balls. Oh, shit! Why? My teammate died instantly! No! Oh, no, we gotta get balls, bro. But yeah, that's how you play this, man. You just pick up balls at all times. Who has the most balls, man? That's literally the determining factor in who wins Temple of Kotmogu. Hopefully my team listens to me, man. See these 2 guys fighting next to the ball? One of you should have already picked it up, bro. One of you should have already picked it up. See that purple ball? Purple ball. I'm gonna say it in chat. I actually don't want to lose, man. I actually would like to win right now. All right, let's go on Kalden. I'm just like a Frostbolt build, basically, right now. We can actually put the Flametongue on, I guess. Now, you want to be in the middle to get more points. You can see the point to the top. My team is currently winning. Nope, we're losing. We're basically tied. I don't think this is the original music, by the way, but I really like this music. This is like the cinematic for, what was it called? For like Shadowlands or something? No, BFA, that's what it was. And I actually like it, so I turned it back up. Okay, we have to kill a Grumbu. I don't like that he even has the audacity, of the balls one could say, to charge me in the middle of my team, but he's dead. It's okay. When you have to play with people to make them get balls, bro. He says, can I lick them? Yes, you can lick the ball if you get it and bring it to the middle. I don't care what you do with the ball once you have it, man. Can't lick mine, though. I saved that for your mom. I'm sorry, dude. But yo, who has the most points? Because everyone's listening. Okay, just more speech in the chat, right? Like, here's what I've basically figured out. Like, when you're a kid, you act one way. If you're an adult and you never learn any better, maybe you're still toxic in some way. Then you become an adult for real, and you say to yourself, if I have a lot of energy and I know how to win, all you got to do is be positive. Tell every single person on your team, you are great. You are the better one. You are going to win. Everybody wishes they were you. All you got to do is X, right? Then, you know, obviously you include how to win, right? Like right there at the end. And then they listen more often, man. Okay, I do wish I had my team near me. Oh, this guy's going for some balls. I'm going to Shadow Word Paint him. He didn't pick the ball up first. Why? You could be getting your team points right now. Ooh, Arcane Missiles. I think I auto-win unless he outplays me by running around me because I can Holy Light, and I knew I could Holy Light. See, get the ball, bro. Then I include a you are loved. You know what I mean? So he doesn't think I'm abrasive because I don't want it to sound like that. If he heard my voice, I'd be like, hey, man, get the ball. And he'd be like, yo, okay, this guy's nice. He does not mean to me. You know what I mean? Like, but he doesn't see that. So somebody will see you say, get the ball, bro. And they think you're being like, get the ball, bro. And it's like, no, you are loved. Like, there's still the ability to just go back and forth. I'm not one shot, man. I'm not one shot. Well, I am now, but I wasn't one shot in that fight. You know what I mean? I'm the only one going in the middle. I tried to do some like positivity again. I was like, gods among men. That's my troll thing, right? At this point, I think it's hilarious. I don't know. I'm sorry, but I was like, come on, meet me in the middle. Whoa, this guy just half my HP. I think I auto win. What the hell? This is the same guy from before. Yo, your damage is way better. He's using a 1H Sinister Strike shield build. I am so impressed right now, man. Good job. No, I said to get the green ball. Nobody listened, and I just watched an enemy just roll up and grab the green ball. That's never good. Let's charge that guy if I can with a Shadow Word Pain. Go for the Frostbolt. Hopefully he attacks me. There we go. Got a boy on my team. Little serpent boy. He's actually going for the balls too. I respect this guy big time. Lucifer, man. Thank you. Your competence is admirable. Oh no, I'm low HP with some balls and this little gnome. Oh no, Boldborn is coming to get me. Why? Oh, God. So I'm actually confused right now. How did we just lose this? I did everything right. I'm so sad. I'm no idea how I just lost this, dude. It's not tracking balls. It should definitely track balls. If it did, I'd be first place guaranteed. Dude, that's such a big F. I'm actually still in this stupid bracket, too. The reason I wanted to win is so I wasn't, like, forced into the 10 to 19 bracket some more. Yeah, Lucifer's right. He was the little serpent, bro. We are the only ones on the team, despite what I said, that took balls, it seems. Okay. At least that's a cool BG, though. It's definitely worth showing. This is actually really sus and actually super... Oh, my God. Oh, no, no, no. I'm losing 2-0. I just got in this BG. And my team, I got in here and I was like, dude, you're all AFK at the graveyard. Dude, my entire team is AFK in the graveyard. They literally don't care. I don't feel like I can ever truly explain what I want to do for PvP. Like, if I could design my own game, that's one thing. If I wanted to devote a video on it, I might, but I don't know. It's not really the content I do. But whenever you have a large group of people that don't even think it's worth it to play, you've done something horribly wrong. Do you know what I mean? And that's basically how it is on Ascension overall right now. It's actually a really good tell for the entire PvP scene because you have a large group of people who don't even think it's worth their time. And it's not just because they're all bad at the game. You know what I mean? That's just what, you know, people would want you to think who are really into it to cope, right? Anyway, what do we get here? Lucky card? Exo, okay. Or at least it's over, dude. Okay, so in true donkey fashion, we basically achieved donkey level in this video, bro. I didn't get anything that I needed for this build. Not picking the blizzard was damning, and we did actually level all the way to max, do 60 rerolls, and still did not come out of it with a single blue. Now, admittedly, this one I could have planned for, and I knew it was a mistake. It was looming in the back of my mind the entire time, so after a certain point, I said, listen, let's just speed to max real quick, and when we're at max, then, and only then, will I be able to figure out if this is actually video worthy, and it wasn't. So we're re-rolling right now, as you can see. I've got the smite, I've got the rebuke. I'm gonna go hard into the PvE aspect because honestly, after trying those BGs, Temple of Kotmogu is actually one of my favorites when people actually play it properly. I really like that BG. But PvP on Ascension, I just, you know, so I'm thinking smite, rebuke, I'm thinking seal of righteousness, and then I'm thinking the mana judgment as well. That's what we're gonna go for, and I've redone my cards as well. There we go, judgment of wisdom. We did it, man. We talked it through. So okay, let's find a group. Nice, I found a group. There we go. Easily, man. Easily. Okay, guys, so listen up. I did another 1 to 60. I wanted to make this one fast because I wanted to get to max and see if, well, the build I've theorycrafted even works. Now, I didn't want to go the whole 9 yards into the exact same build that we did 8 months ago, which I already alluded to earlier in the video. The thing is, with that build, my friends, we were doing a hybrid that was a true hybrid, meaning I was going to be melee AP and SP mental quickness-esque stuff like that. With this one, though, I want to go full intellect. I want to try something different. I don't even think we used Holy Fire with that old build. I think it was something entirely crit based with just the Icy Prisms, but we have Glacial Light now. So after I was done pushing through and leveling all the way to 60, a quick 1 to 60 group with a lot of good guys, I made it to max and I started doing some dummy testing. Now, the dummy testing showed me a lot. When I tried to play intellect with the Pious Strike concept, it was really bad. In fact, it did almost no damage at all, and I started to get a little bit scared. I then quickly removed all the melee stuff, stripped it down, got it down to smite, judgment, glacial light, and then with the Code of Cold to refresh the Icy Prism, and then also Holy Wrath. I thought, hey, that's extra AoE, and I suddenly was doing 3k DPS single target, and I thought, okay, maybe we're actually onto something. Now, I am built for melee, which is a big problem, but I am able to use my 2 Mythic 10 weapons you can see right here with Flametongue, auto-attacking, and of course, that leads me to 8% of my total damage, ending up being Flametongue attack. That can't be a bad thing. So guys, I completely built this from scratch. I don't even know if this is supposed to work necessarily, but it is working for me, and I do think the melee AP version I built 8 months ago has a lot more support now, and that could be good, but we've already got a video for that. Check that out on my Discord. Check this build out in my Discord when I post it today as well. So anyway, look, Icy Prism, and then I'm going to start with a Judgment. I think I'm supposed to go Glacial Light. Why not just cast it first? Beautiful little animation, by the way. And then I spam the Smite. Now, ideally, I'd be up in melee range for those Cone of Colds. You Judgment on cooldown. Every little waking moment that is not Glacial Light or Judgment should be spent on Smite until you refresh the Icy Prism, just like that at the very end, right? Now, the only thing I think is incorrect about this is the Smite itself. I think ultimately I want this to be Frostbolt. I've got 35 rerolls. I'm going to go for it, and if we get the Frostbolt, I think it's going to be a hell of a lot better.
Later that same evening.
Okay, I didn't get the Frostbolt, but at least this time I know how I want this to play. Like, I've done this so many times. At this point, I told you guys a few videos ago, like, every time I have to prestige more and more, I start to dread it now, so I am really upset with myself. But the more I play this, the more I think Smite is interesting. I don't think it's the main castable, though. Reason being is I can't maintain the Fingers of Frost. And if I'm not doing that, what's the point? Might as well just be a normal holy build at that point. So generally speaking, I think it needs to be something like Icy Prism, Judgment, then go for like the Glacial Light, and in this case I'm just spamming Smite smite, but I think what I want to do is spam Frostbolt, smite on proc, and then, by the way, Frostbolt keeps up the Icy Prism, so I don't even need the cone for that, by the way. And I think it's going to be smooth. It's going to be way less buttons, too, by the way. And every Frostbolt crit is going to proc Icy Prism. So there's some innate synergy right there. I think that's how it was meant to be played. That was my very first idea, but that's the way that really does need the Icy Veins. So, you know what? I'm going to get on an alt character real quick. I have like 50 golden skill cards. If I don't get Icy Veins, I'm going to cry, but we're going to go for it. If we don't get Icy Veins, I'm still going to go for the build without it. All right, guys, I'm on my healer character. You can see I have 50 golden sealed cards and 50 lucky ones. The lucky ones might as well not exist. Let's go for the normal ones. Let's hope we get the Icy Veins. All right, let's just click it, man. Oh, I already see some frosty looking stuff. It's not Icy Veins, though. We'll just keep on clicking. And I'll be able to turn some of these in, by the way. There's a high chance we might get it even after the fact. And yeah, so none of these 50 are what I want. So if I just go down the list, like I got Mongoose Bite, okay, Growl, Searing Totem, meh. You know, like, is there anything that's actually pivotal? Fire Blast, not really. Stone Skin Totem, oh yeah. Seal of Righteousness, all the level 1 things are coming at me now. I feel a little unlucky, like the level 1 stuff is pretty good to have in the pool, but not if you are looking for things that don't require level 1, because then it just dilutes the pool, right? And I got a lot of them. Arcane Missiles, Auto Shot, holy crap, Tiger's Fury is good. We've already done those builds, though. Why me? Okay, luckily, though, let's go to Professor Thaddeus Paleo. He's always been here, tried and true. Golden skill cards, skip the exchange dialogue, start spamming the button, and we'll reopen them. Do we get the Icy Veins? Come on, man. Let me get lucky. True Shot R is pretty good. Penance, okay, maybe. Summon Imp, more level 1 spells. Mage Armor Mastery, more level 1 spells. Whoa! That's my very first legendary skill card of the entire freaking season. I didn't even get one, I'm pretty sure, in Season 7. Somebody might have a clip somewhere where I did, and I just don't remember because it was garbage, but this isn't the best thing I could get in the world, okay? It's pretty much not good. But if they come out with Fellforge mode, for example, I can see myself using it in Fellforge mode. Because when it comes to like 1 to 60 leveling, 50% reduced damage taken for like 8 seconds now. They buffed how long the duration is, by the way. It's actually extremely powerful for winning fights between 1 to 60 before people have a ridiculous amount of stuff that starts removing, you know, certain things out of the ability equation, right? So I'm going to use that. That's pretty good. Everything else garbage, but that's pretty much normal. Let's keep on doing it. All right, I got a Totem of Wrath. No one even uses stuff like that. Somebody has to have it, I guess. And, okay, Fireball, more level 1 spells and Wrath there. Yikes! Dude, I think half the things I got were level 1 spells. Okay, we're going without the Icy Veins. So, guys, before I prestige, let me just say, you do get a prestige cache when you prestige. Typically, these are really only good for the extracts, which allow you to take enchants off gear and add them to your collection. But I've heard on the grapevine you can get really good stuff from it. And today's the day I finally did, too, the Chromatic Headpiece. This is a Tier 2 head slot item. Let's go ahead and get something. I don't know what it's going to be, but Tier 2 Oni set. I guess it's going to be counting as a normal piece. Yeah, okay, so I'm thinking just straight up mage stuff right off the bat. I guess the major problem with this kind of stuff is that the tier sets are going to be like obviously made for certain abilities and certain things to be used with them, not a general idea of where it could be used with anything. And since I play everything, it's kind of tough for me, right? Nemesis, though, I mean, that's a little bit more up my alley, but the base stats on the gear aren't as good, I think, for what I would typically want. The Netherwind, I like the stats more on it, but it's obviously made for something with arcane spells, mage spells, fire spells, stuff like that. Regardless, though, who knows what we'll use in the future. You can see it's a crazy amount of stats. Let's just go with that. And okay, guys, talking to Chromie for the quadrillionth time. Let's prestige again. Hopefully this time we get something good. Well, my friends, did we get something good? Did we? I'm in Winter Spring today, under the Simba Rock in which I acquired the Glacial Light enchant. Right there, actually, on that little rock. I thought being in this snow zone would be pretty thematic for what we're doing, riding my Frost Charger Frosty mount, the only Frosty mount that I have. And we're going to be using a staff, but outside of that staff, which I put a little bit of a holy enchant on to indicate the frost holiness, I'm just going with some Deathbringer kind of DK Frosty kind of stuff, right? I'm a big fan of casters that don't have a dress on, and it's not because of anything gender-based, it's because it doesn't make any sense. Why would you wear a long robe into battle? At any point that you have to run or something like that, you're going to trip, man. Like, all the crap you're casting when you're blinking and stuff like that, it's gonna be okay? Really? You think so? Yeah, good try. I don't think so. So my dude has an innate advantage over your guy because I don't wear a dress in battle. Outside of the battle, I wear dresses all day, bro. Regardless, though, we have gone with a Frostbolt caster version of the spec, not what I thought I was going to do, which is just an intellect version of the same spec we already did. The reason I decided to go with this overall was because, number one, it was different. Number two, I think it's the playstyle they intended for us to play Glacial Light with Icy Prism, and I'll show you all the enchants and stuff I'm using in a moment. And number 3, even though we don't have Icy Veins, which is honestly the only reason I didn't initially go straight for this build to begin with, I don't think it's the end of the world, and so I think this is still going to be a pretty good indication of where this build lies. As a guy named Mcdoubles speaks in Ascension chat, like, dude, Jesus, what the hell, man? Kind of like the name, though. I kind of wish I had taken it. Now, for this run, I went with slightly different skill cards. Power Infusion, which could have been Icy Veins, Blizzard for the Icy Prism, Summon Imp for the extra SP we'll get at max, and Conjuring Mastery for the Firestone. For my lucky cards, Drain Soul for the Conjuring Mastery, Holy Wrath for AoE, Holy Fire, obviously, and then Light's Hammer, why not? And we actually did get that, which is pretty cool. So you can see all my abilities down here. We got the Kings, we got the Mark of the Wild, I have the Seal of Righteousness, but we're not really doing a lot of melee. That's just to have a Judgment, which we have the Judgment of Wisdom, which is nice. Smite, which is going to be proccing off things like Frostbolt and Glacial Light with the Icy Prism there, the Fizzle, which is a PvE interrupt, and the Power Infusion Polymorph, and everything else. We have the Entangling Roots, but we're not really going to be doing PvP. And we have the Ice Block, which is nice and thematic. That's pretty cool. Now, we started off with like 3k DPS on a dummy, and this was pretty interesting. I thought that was fine. You know, we are competing in a universe in which the stratification between different specs is so ridiculous that, you know, people want, let's say, 4.5k DPS to do MC Ascended, but some builds can casually do 8 or 9,000 DPS like it's nothing single target, whereas, you know, for example, in M Plus as well, you also might want maybe, oh, I don't know, 8,000 DPS AoE, but some builds casually do 15k, and so when you know that, it really just makes it hard to say this is a really good build. So I won't lie and say it's the best build in the world. I do think it's viable, though, and that's what we're going to get to with playing this build today. I've put up on the screen already the single target and the AoE and what it looked like, and for where I am right now with unoptimized gear, we are looking at something around the lines of 3k single target and something along the lines of 6 to 7k AoE. Of course, optimized, I think that could be brought up significantly, and yeah, that's where we basically lie right now. Now, in terms of my enchants, I'm going for, well, in terms of the ones that actually work right now, there are some slots I need to fill out eventually, but we have Divine Fury, which is interesting. So this increases the crit of Glacial Light by 3%, and my targets take 6% more magic damage after our Glacial Light, so that's pretty cool as well. We have Fingers of Frost, and I want to get as many of those off as I can, so 6% more chance to proc that. That's 16% chance, and that actually leads into my epic enchant, Stay Frosty, which we'll talk about in a moment as well. Lunar Guidance is just converting more of my intellect into SP. Stay Frosty now. Casting damaging spells will increase the chance to proc Fingers of Frost by 2% until it triggers, and when it does, you get 6% more frost damage, which Glacial Light, being a Holy Frost spell, will benefit from. We've also got the Swift Justice. I talked about this before. Frostbolt, Glacial Light, the procs from Icy Prism very highly specifically. This is what's going to proc this, giving me a smite that should crit or has a chance to crit and will hit really, really hard and proc, if it does crit, the Icy Prism. Going on down, of course, we have Snowblind. Of course, we have Glacial Light. And yeah, that's basically the entire build. It is completely different from what we used to play once in a blue moon. But I want to do some mythics with it. I want to show you guys just how it's been playing so far. For the AoE, I'm throwing in those Holy Wraths as well. I'm throwing in the Light's Hammer just honestly for fun. But the main point of contention is the Icy Prism. Because what I want to do is prism somebody, Judgment for a free crit, go for a Frostbolt, and start proccing the Prism as well. You can see my little proc right here of the Swift Justice. That's what that looks like, and that's when I get a Swift Justice proc off something that's not holy damage, which is most of my stuff. And we're using like a Mod Podge of spirity stuff right now. I got to get rid of the spirit gear. We played some shadow stuff. I was theorycrafting actually with some shadow stuff that wanted spirit, but so let's just queue up, man. Let's see how it plays. Okay, guys, strat main gate on the Glacial Light Icy Prism build. Let's see how we do. I think the worst part about seeing how you stack up right now in Mythics is like if there's a Herald legacy build in your party. If there is one, it's always going to come in first place. Holy crap, so many numbers, it's lagging me out because Ascension can't optimize this for some reason. I just did a retail. I'm over there doing 25-man raids with way worse crazy spell effects, right? And it literally doesn't matter. I don't even experience lag, kind of. It's so intensely different. But here we are. I did an MC earlier, and I was on literally 10 FPS. I couldn't play the game. I came second place DPS right there, though, despite constant lag spikes. I'll take it. Why am I not surprised that there's a Herod's Legacy guy in my group? It's so, like, flavor of the month. Everybody's doing it. Titanic Mutilate, Wind Rager. You could even still go back to my Gurubashi Berserker version. It was still doing something like that, but the other two builds I mentioned are way better for it because they're, you know, they take less skill to play. I think the weird thing is I thought that was supposed to be one of their fixes. Like, the slower builds were supposed to be more in line with the easy brain dead builds that are always in first place. But I don't think that really happened. I heard something and it really made me, like, chuckle. Like, you know when you, like, literally snort? It's something so funny. Somebody was trying to say that all the builds they see in Ascended actually take a lot of skill to play. Dude, the Ascended Raiders, like, a lot of them talk to me and they're like, hey, The meta is extremely simple up here, and it's all just dumb crap. Demonic Persistence, Pally, Mana Fiends, you know, 1 or 2 button builds, you know, stuff like that. Okay, so after this dungeon, I'm going to change my UI real quick so I can actually, like, not lag. I think if I just remove ElvUI once again, it'll be okay. It's so weird. Like, we had it working. Like, devs are actually working with me. It's like the unluckiest thing in the world.
15 minutes later.
Okay, screw it. I went ahead and removed everything and just like AFK'd real quick to make it happen. I didn't do it for too long, but I actually wanted to play the build. So we have the Prism up, right? There we go, Glacial Light. We can actually light hammer right there. I have to change up my weak auras, but we can go ahead and Prism this guy as well. And I'll just spam the Frostbolt. Now, every time Frostbolt crits, I do even more damage. Oh, yeah, look at that. We'll see on the next pack because there was a lot of stuff going on before I even got into the fight. We'll see how we do. All right, there we go. More procs. Glacial Light. And I'm just going to keep spamming Frostbolt. I've got to get my Quartz add-on going so I can see my cast bar, sadly. Dude, this could not have been wonkier. Just like overall, it couldn't have been wonkier. The next one will be a lot better, guys. We'll do quite a few more. I'm just going to keep going up until I literally can't record Mythics anymore because I've got to get the video out type of thing, right? Just let me maintain second place. It looks like I will. Yeah, we did. Okay, I'll take it. Please say something drops that I can use. Wormtongue is agility. I know that much. And yeah, oh my god, that's awful for me. Okay, I'll greet it all. Okay, so I just started late and I always have an excuse, but you know what? Let's just pretend I didn't start late. Let's say it was actually perfect, and we're going in right now, seeing if we can come in first place DPS. I've got the Icy Prism up. I spam Frostbolt. Every single time I get a proc, I go for that. Every time I can Glacial Light, I go for that. It's actually getting a reduced cast speed, by the way, and we'll show you all the talents that have something to do with that later on, but it comes just from critting. So it's all very crit-centric, and I think that's where the gear is really going to come in. If I can replace hit rating and also spirit gear with crit gear without losing my hit cap, that would be intensely good. Okay, where are we right here? Second place, I'll take that. I could have got luckier with some of my crits there. I didn't get that many Icy Prism procs, but like that's the biggest thing. You have to keep in mind, with Fingers of Frost, I have 73% crit chance right now. But yeah, so like the new way that people are skipping right now is kind of also the old way, to be honest with you. It's just like people are doing it more. It's funny, like somebody does it, and then they're the ones that keep going in the Mythics and telling everybody to do it that way. And then everybody's like, oh, I like that. And it spreads in a very organic and natural way, which I really like. And so basically it's just jumping in the lava twice here, and then you just follow the lava. The lava doesn't do like any damage. I should not have hard casted that smite. So again, instead of going through that door and doing what you got to do, we're just going to jump. And I guess he's also going to slow fall us, which is even better. I'll just like take it off real quick. Oh shoot, I hope I don't die. But you go in the lava and you just keep jumping, and we're just going to follow the lava. I'm also pretty much equal with these dudes, although I'm on the bottom end of it right now. But we're, you know, commentating against an Arctis Fuego build and a Lava Sweep build. 2 top tier builds right now for general Mythic play. And I think Arctis and Fuego, despite being nerfed, is still being used very consistently. So what if I Holy Wrath and go for a Light's Hammer right here, and then we Prism somebody, and then we go for the Glacial Light? Am I too late? Or, like, do I just go Icy Prism every time? One of the problems I remember having with this build last time was that you don't actually have an easy way of transferring that Icy Prism to new targets. It looks like, though, it's spreading the Icy Prism to everybody. I don't remember that happening perfectly before, but now that I'm starting to understand that, it's very interesting. It does allow me to very quickly switch targets and come in first place DPS as a result. So it looks like they've taken some advice since, like, 7 months ago when I last played this. Okay, so I figured something out. We're jumping onto a different dungeon right now. The last one was just mad. But I think I figured something out. I don't think I Glacial Light willy-nilly. So I think I quite literally only go for Frostbolt at all times unless I have a Fingers of Frost proc, and then I go for Glacial Light because it doesn't create Fingers of Frost, but it does benefit from Fingers of Frost, and that is a super duper important distinction. So like right now, I do have it. I might have to create a weak aura for that. Boom. It actually crit. That's a big freaking deal. Okay, so on the boss, let's just see how we do. Straight up on the boss. I love getting to this boss and doing DM North for this type of stuff, so let's just see how we do. And we did second place, right behind Dragon Warrior. Exactly what you would expect, sadly. Okay, no loot, I think, but we can open up this satchel and see if we get something. Huh, that trinket's actually interesting. I will keep that, but I don't need the haste on this guy. Okay, let's just keep on playing, guys. You know, overall, Frost and Holy, Glacial Light, like this whole concept, the theme right now, it's definitely an A+ from me. In terms of power level, again, I think it's probably better as a hybrid right now, especially with a bunch of new changes that have been made in that regard, but you are starting to get epic enchant bloat as well. It reminds me of some other builds that definitely want more than 3 epic enchants, yet even if they did have them, they still wouldn't meet the power of some of these guys that are like doing certain things like maybe Heralds and M+, Demonic Persistence, or Mana Fiend. I saw 13k single target DPS sent to me from that one. So how they end up fixing that for some builds in the future, I don't know. Anyway, let's see how we do on this boss real quick. We have everything up on him. There's a proc. I'm hoping I crit more than not. Like, I think I still Glacial Light on cooldown. I just think obviously you hope that you have a handy dandy Fingers of Frost proc up whenever it goes off so that you're more guaranteed for it to crit. And if you can control that, it's a shorter fight, for example, let's just say, you probably should try to, because I've noticed whenever I can make sure that I have that up for the Glacial Light, I actually spike up in DPS significantly. You see how many instant casts, by the way? It's Frostbolt or instant casting with Glacial Light a lot of the times, or even Smite. So I did come in second there, and we lost to Dragon Warrior. He's the same guy from the last dungeon, I think. But yeah, not everybody could be a G like me, guys. Just jumping in the lava, not getting attacked by any of the NPCs while everybody else goes that way. Who will make it first? Will it be them or will it be me? They can't even believe what they're looking at right now. They have no idea. It's hard when you're in the presence of greatness to keep your composure. And I'm a lava jumper, my friends. You thought you knew, but you didn't. There we go. Starting to get... Oh, I just smited. That sucked. Starting to get some AoE going, though. When I don't crit, it's really tough. And the reason it hurts, guys, is because I really do have a lot of crit. You know what the problem is? Not getting Fingers of Frost to proc. That's the problem. And I've got everything I could possibly get, as far as I'm aware, to raise that Fingers of Frost proc chance. But I think ultimately it comes down to no instant cast, right? No Cone of Cold, for example, maybe procking it. But also it's just a low proc chance overall. But if it was more consistent, the crit would be unbelievable. Right now, my baseline's at 34 for my Frostbolt. But the enchant we ended up adding to this was actually critical Frostbolt for 6% more crit. So we're looking at like 40% crit chance with Frostbolt. So when we get the Fingers of Frost proc, it's almost 100% chance. But we got to get it to proc, right? And 40% should be pretty high, but a lot of the times, obviously, yeah. Sometimes I wonder if things are bugged. You know, I was hitting a 2,200 crit on a dummy earlier, and then I, within 15 minutes, was only hitting 1,500 on the same dummy with the same spell, and I couldn't replicate my power. My birthday is actually on the 13th, and I feel like right around my birthday, we're going to get that patch. This is all guess and conjecture, but I think it's going to add new random enchants, including a bunch of really cool tank ones and healing ones. I think it's tank ones. I know it's definitely healing ones that we're definitely going to try, and some new DPS specs I can only imagine as well. Okay, Magmus, round 2. Can I beat this Dragon Warrior? I just want to beat the Dragon Warrior. Come on, Renzo. I know I've played with you before. The name is just familiar to me for some reason. I can see how Icy Veins would be a game changer, though. Let's not forget, I mean, one of the things I keep feeling like I need for Frostbolt, if my crit is not crazy high, is going to be haste, because then I can shoot more Frostbolts out, and by lieu of that, I have a higher chance of actually getting off a crit, you know, because I have more volume, right? More things to crit with. It's super important to keep in mind that when the Glacial Light dot is on my target, if I actually hit them with anything, not crit, just hit them, so haste would be a big deal, I reduce the cooldown of Icy Veins by 1 second. Now, in my previous spec, I actually did have this stuff, but we didn't get the Blizzard, as you guys know, but I do think if you had stuff like Cold Snap to reset the Icy Veins cooldown, and I don't think anything else does it. Let's look it up. Ice Flows, yeah, obviously. Typically, I'm looking at this for Nova or something like that, or even Cone of Cold, but this reduces the cooldown of that as well by 33%. And of course, there is an Ice Flows enchant as well, and that means you could really get that Icy Veins down to basically always being up. That actually would probably be the kicker right there. I bet the DPS would increase exponentially just with that alone, so that's something to look forward to if you get lucky. All right, we're finally on this boss. I don't know what the hang up is, but you don't see me complaining. Oh man, I actually had a absolutely perfect proc. Like I literally Glacial Lighted and the Frostbolt procced the fingers at that precise moment that it went off. Oh yeah, look at that. I just want to be critting more. And this pushback, I feel like I'm standing in fire like a donkey. Or maybe not. Maybe we just always take pushback and there's no concentration aura or anything like that. So we're just suffering. Yeah, I think that's actually more the case. All right, more second place. Always to the D Warrior. It's super fun to play. The only regret is that I'm not playing Alliance and I can't make it a Dwarf. I like the idea of a Dwarf Priest. I've always loved the idea of a Dwarf Priest. There's just something very specifically unique about it, just by lieu of it being a Dwarf. And I really can't explain why. All I know is when I used to make custom maps on Warcraft 3 and I was doing like a fantasy map or something like that, if I could create a dwarven race in my map and give them the idea of the Thane and the priests and all these other like almost Viking inspired things, we're talking like 1,000+ years ago. It was where this theme comes from, and the dwarves kind of embody that to me. It's very, very cool. All right, now time for the boss. Let's see how we do. Can I get a proc? I did. Glacial Light. Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah, you could just tell. Like, think about it right now. 20%. Let's just see. If I power infusion, so my Frostbolts would be like this the entire fight. I need to not be standing in fire, hello. But they would be super fast the literal entire fight. 1.2 speed, and with alacrity or something like that, possibly even more. Because right now, on a 1.4, it actually feels way too slow. And that's literally the fix, is just not getting unlucky and getting the Icy Veins. I don't even think you need Cold Snap, by the way, the more I play it. Okay, I'm getting destroyed by this slow, by the way, with my casting speed, so it's even more exaggerated. And now I'm getting stunned. Why me? Don't push me to third. Come on. All right, not the strongest build in the world, but that doesn't mean it's not fun and can't be buffed. We've played plenty of stuff like that, like Mayhem, for example. Do we get anything at least from this dungeon? Haste and crit, that's not too bad, but everything gives me hit rating right now, and you need so much hit as a caster. That might actually go down. I hope that goes down eventually. I'm dead ass, by the way, on that. Like, I think they're going to be doing some changes to this type of stuff that I can't talk about, but I think that everything's going to become a little bit more like retail in terms of the good stuff about retail. Like, oh, I don't know, like the way they did hit rating. Maybe not quite as extreme, because in retail there is no hit rating, but you know what I mean. Again, can't say too much, but anyway, what else we got? Gloves that I can't take because I need the hit rating. All right, passing on everything because hit rating is the only stat that matters. But okay, I'll take it. That was actually pretty fun. I mean, listen, I meme a lot about power levels and stuff like that, but honestly, I know that just by putting it out there, people are going to be like, oh, that's either fun to play and I'll give it a try and I'll be good enough, and then they'll be rewarded as it eventually does get some kind of help at some point, or they get Icy Veins and they're like, oh, it's even better than the one Mcdoubles was playing. Like, that's how I'm assuming this will play out. I've got some more ideas I want to get to though, including a retail video, as I think I talked about earlier in the video as well. So there's a lot of interesting stuff I'm going to be working on. But overall, I'd say this build's definitely cool. It's definitely not worth playing. I'll say that much. It was definitely worth trying. But okay, guys, luckily this is one of my more geared guys. We'll do Mythic Plus in a future video with this guy and with different builds. I have a lot of stuff planned for maybe with the tank character before the patch comes out. But what we can do, my friends, is a little giveaway. Let's go ahead and get on the other character and let's do the giveaway from the last Ascension video. Okay, picking a winner. Let's see. There we go. Johannes Nielsen. Happy holidays and New Year. In-game name Ice Bite. Happy holidays and Happy New Year to you too, my friend. Now today I'm going to give you my TBC special. This is gear that I used in TBC, farmed for, things I thought were important, things I wish I had. The first thing I'm going to give you is the Dark Moon Dirigible mount, which is something I farmed for and earned the normal way last season. It was a really awesome time. And then the Yojamba Isle Hearthstone, which is pivotal for prestiging in the TBC era. And I also want to give away this entire prestigious set right here. This is also something I farmed for the entire set for in Season 7. And if you didn't already get it for yourself, you get it for free right now. If you don't know what this looks like, it's an entirely gold set. So GG, Ice Bite. Once again, leave a comment in the comment section below with your in-game name to have a chance of winning something in the next Ascension video. So what can I say, guys? Overall, it's a pretty interesting build. It's fun, it's frost, it's holy. As I said, the hybrid version's probably a little better, but we did the caster version today. Grab the Icy Veins if you want to play this. The build with the Icy Veins, and it will be in my Discord. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Mcdoubles out.